Have you ever come across a piece of pattern paper in your stash and thought, how am I going to use this? Today I want to share my top 5 tips for using difficult to use patterned paper. Hi, I'm Jess from JessCrafts.com and I'm here to help you make the most of your crafty supplies and time. So let's take a look. If you come across a pattern paper that you feel like is just not for you for some reason, my first suggestion, as the simplest thing to do, is turn it over and see if there's another pattern on the other side, and that is a better fit for you. Sometimes they're going to be similar, and that's okay. We have many other suggestions, but sometimes it really is as simple as looking at a bold pattern, saying maybe this feels like a little too much, turning it over and finding a more subtle pattern. But also, some pattern papers are just white on the back. So if you find the first side hard to use, you might be able to turn over to the white side and just use it as a white piece of paper. You could print something on it because some of the paper is like, similar in weight to printer paper, like a little thicker. So you could print images from Creative Fabrica. I sell images in the Jess Crafts Etsy shop, or you could stamp sentiments on it, stamp your images on it. It's not always great paper for coloring, but these are just like the first thing I always do is like, well, what if I just turn it over to their side? I understand if you have a pattern that's difficult to use and it's white on the other side, you might want to try some of the other suggestions first. So let's think about those. My second suggestion is to use that bold pattern paper for layering. So I have this pattern paper that for me is a little bold. I'm not very much into florals personally, but I think there's probably other people who think this is a gorgeous pattern paper. And I do think that's worth noting, right? Because something that might be beautiful, coveted, like, oh my gosh, I totally want that pattern paper for you, might not be appealing to someone else. So this is not really a judgment. It's just a highlighting of how you could address these. So you could make sure that it's, so you could use it for layering so that it's poking out just a little bit. It's kind of like a mat. And there, I think it's really fun. It's adding some really like some interest to the card. Similarly, if you have a design where you're going to be covering up most of the patterned paper, it can take a more bold pattern and kind of tone it down by pairing it with a more subtle paper and by covering a lot of the pattern, kind of breaking it up, making it smaller. Another thing you can do is cover up the pattern with a large stamp, embellishment, die cut, etc. And so then this pattern that, maybe felt a little busy and bold can get toned down. I would recommend, like for a die cut, maybe you have like that layer in between, because putting a sentiment right on a busy patterned paper can make it difficult to read. But when you put a little bit of a layer behind it, that can help out quite a bit. My next suggestion is to make it into a more solid patterned paper. So more like I guess I would think of it as kind of like a tone-on-tone paper. Of course, if you do have a white side to the patterned paper and you're like, I really don't have any purpose for this pattern paper, you can put ink on it and turn it into a solid color of paper. But these hearts, it's not that I don't like hearts, it's just that like there's a lot of white and I don't necessarily like using a lot of, or pattern paper that has a lot of white on it. So by just taking my ink pad and swiping over it, I can turn this lot of white space into a lot of a colorful space, which suits me better. And now I have a more subtle tone-on-tone look. And then this even works for a more bold pattern like this one. I took a blending brush and I pulled the ink over it, and you can actually, as you see here, cover even just part of it, so that, again, you're kind of taking some of the boldness away or some of the pattern away. And it won't be exactly tone on tone because you will see some like of the colors beneath it, but it gives it a much more subtle effect. You can also do something if you just think it needs a little bit of a tone down, just a little bit of ink at the edges can achieve that effect as well, rather than covering the whole thing. If you're watching this video, it's probably because you love patterned paper. So I just wanted to take a quick minute to let you know that I share a lot about patterned paper on my channel, and I share these free paper busting templates. So I show you how to take one piece of patterned paper, in this case 6x8 pattern paper, and make it into some cards without leaving any patterned paper scraps. You don't have to deal with those in the future. And so today I was using 6x8 paper busting template number 1 after I used some of the patterned paper tips in the video, and I also used 6x8 paper busting template number 5. So I'm going to leave you these links in the video description so you can download these and try them out, and then maybe see if you want some for your 12x12 or 6x6 paper. I recommend adding to the pattern. So I mentioned that I don't have anything, it's not that there's anything wrong with the pink hearts, but there's a lot of white space. So I took a stencil and just covered part of it so that you could kind of see the comparison that, you know, and you can also, again, stencil just part of it to add a little bit of interest to one side or one portion of it, which is kind of, again, what I did here was like, let me just add to some of that space, add a complementary pattern, add a focal point, that kind of thing, to change it up a little bit. And this is similar to the making it solid, but instead of making a tone on tone look, here I'm actually just trying to add color, because for me, this is a really like, it's a subtle pattern, it's a simple pattern, but the color, I kind of just prefer brighter colors. So I just took a bright color of ink and I put that over it. So I've basically, here I am transforming it or something. My next recommendation is to add to the pattern. So if you have a pattern that you just feel like needs a little bit more, like there's a lot of white space here, I wanted to add to that pattern. And so what I decided to do was just put a stencil over it and extend it, take out some of the white space, but leave some interest. I picked something that was complementary. I used pink ink because the hearts are pink, and I used a more geometric stencil because there are a lot of these lines in here. Like I didn't want to go a totally different style. Where here, for me, again, pattern paper that has a lot of white isn't my favorite. So here I've added some interest to the stencil. Of course, you could extend it to the entire piece, but I kind of wanted to show you a sort of side-by-side comparison. And then here, this is a little bit different, but instead of adding to the pattern with a second pattern, I'm adding to the pattern with different color. So it's not that I have anything that I don't really like about this particular pattern. It's just that the color probably could use some more brightness for me personally. So rather than doing the make it solid thing, where I'm like basically trying to eliminate the pattern, here I'm actually just kind of highlighting it with a bright and light color. My fifth suggestion is to transform it, turn it into something else, rather than just using it as a chunk of patterned paper on a card in a very traditional sense, like I showed earlier here, where you're just using a piece of it. You can do something unexpected with it, such as turning it into an envelope or a box or some kind of 3D thing where you can use the more subtle side or a white side, because sometimes that's the alternative, and you can make a white envelope or a more plain looking envelope like this, and then when you open it up, that bold pattern that maybe felt like a little too much on your card is actually just a really fun surprise inside. Or it's a more subtle look because it's inside the envelope if it's really a pattern you just don't like, because that's not the case with this pattern. I just think it's really busy, but it's pretty. So that's one way, turning into something else, a box, an envelope, etc. Maybe die cutting it. So I've die cut some words out of that really bold floral paper, and so that's kind of toned it down a bit. And now if I were to pair it with the completed card, or add it on top of its other pattern, then I have a lot of that fun from that particular patterned paper, but not as much of it going on. And then finally, some pattern papers, you might find that there's just like elements of it. So I think this pattern paper is cool, but when you can't cut it into very small chunks, because then you kind of start like, can't quite see what it's supposed to be. And I know there's a lot of people who see a pattern paper like this and they think, oh, well, that's just embellishments. That's just sentiments. So you could take it and you could cut out the different elements that are on there and use it as embellishments or sentiments or things like that on your card, but you may not like to just use a chunk of it, especially because for me, there's a lot of white space in the background, which is, as I mentioned before, not my favorite. So I can instead turn this into sentiments. I hope the next time that you come across a pattern paper in your stash that feels just a little bit not your style or a little bit difficult to use, you look back at these suggestions and try one of them out to save that pattern paper and in fact probably enjoy that pattern paper more than you thought you would. If you like this video, here's another video where you can find more ideas for enjoying your crafty time and supplies. Let me know you like this video with a share to your crafty community, subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss the next template or tutorial, and check the video description for product links. See you in the next video.